Do you see this here? This here proves the devotion of my fanhood. It probably won't surprise anybody when I say that I was not a fan of this movie and I did not enjoy it in any manner. It won't surprise you because that is a very popular opinion at this point, especially among lifelong devoted fans of Harry Potter like mine. But nonetheless, it breaks my heart just to say it. Crimes at Grindelwald is the sequel to Where to Find Them, and it follows the uprising of the most famous dark wizard in the Harry Potter universe. Now, I really actually liked the first movie of the Fantastic Beasts. I don't know how many there's going to be, 3, 5, 7, who gives a shit. But I actually really liked the first one. It put little twists on things that I already knew about the Harry Potter world. It showed the American side of the wizarding universe. And it marketed itself as, although being in the Harry Potter universe, completely separate from those movies and able to stand on its own. Which it actually did. I respected the first movie. I liked the first movie. All it did was elevate my fandom. And I went into this with high hopes. And they were dashed away. And I'm still fucking pissed about it. This movie opens with one of the most badass fight scenes we've seen since the ending of the Order of the Phoenix. The amazing visuals coupled with the John Williams score is amazing, and it makes you think, oh my god, if the rest of the movie lives up to this, it's going to be so perfect. And it doesn't. What you realize shortly after is that this, the first 5 minutes of the movie, is the complete peak. It is the apex of this. After this, you stumble into confusing plots, characters that make no sense and are completely diverted from what they're set out as in the first movie, and just a horde of references that are shoved down your throat every few minutes to try and distract you from the trash pile that is this Harry Potter movie. This is truly hurting me to say all these things, because I'm somebody that will pop in a Harry Potter movie once a month just to sit down and relax. I've read all the books dozens of times. Fuck, this thing behind me, I forgot about it, but this is a Harry Potter thing, painted by a friend of mine for my birthday, because they know I fucking love it. And it pains me to say these things. There are so many main plots, subplots, unimportant plots, character arcs, story arcs, teases for the future, that I was completely lost, along with everybody else, throughout the majority of this movie. And when it ended, I wasn't even sure if it had ended, because I thought it ended like 5 times before this over the last 45 minutes that it dragged on. And because of all this, it made the big twist at the end anticlimactic and more confusing than anything, that when I got home, I had to look up what it even meant. Eddie Redmayne, who plays Newt, is obviously great in this. He was great in the first one, and he carried the first one, and he did his best to carry this. But it doesn't focus on him all that much. He's almost not even the main character. And if he was, it would have made this a lot better. Jude Law was a great cast as young Dumbledore, and I thought he did great. Johnny Depp was a good cast as Grindelwald. Pretty perfect for the role, honestly. I couldn't see anybody else doing it, but they didn't give him anything interesting to do. Any time spent with Credence, played by Ezra Miller, was awful and brought the movie to a screeching halt, and unfortunately we were hit with him probably half the time of the entire movie. I'd call him the main character more than I would Newt for this one. The icing on the cake for me that really brought this movie home to how much I hate it is the references. References were everywhere. They're every 5 minutes, and they're shoved down your throat and handed to you on a silver platter before they were shoved down your throat. And it was very clear that this movie knew it wasn't good, and it was putting these in here to try and distract you from the fact that it's not good. I don't want this movie to rely on its references. The references should remind me of past movies and be like, oh yeah, I like those movies. But instead it reminds me of how much I like those movies and how much I don't like this movie. It brought me out of it. I wanted this movie to stand on its own. And I want this series to stand on its own. It doesn't make me happy to make this video. In fact, it saddens me, it disappoints me, and it ashames me. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald is nothing more than a filler movie and hopes to get by on everybody's love for the past and love for the previous Harry Potter movies, but it doesn't. This movie is boring, awful, and makes no sense. It is purely a cash grab. I give it a 2 out of 10, and even that is fucking generous. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other reviews.